General arousal is a state of generalized excitation. The example I chose for this is social media ads, specifically that of Instagram ads and influencers. Instagram influencers are often provided with clothing or products to post about to get followers excited about the products, so they will in turn purchase them from these companies. In this photo, you see an Instagram model wearing the clothing from Resurrection, an online clothing boutique. I actually have a friend who purchases clothing because of an Instagram influencer that she follows. And they do not have the same body type at all, but the influencer still influences her and others to purchase the clothes, regardless of what they look like on or how many bad reviews the clothing actually gets. Second is the fight or flight response. This is a stress response we have, which was meant to run from things like saber-toothed tigers, but now we get it when we sometimes read social media comments. In this instance, actress and singer Lea Michele was announced a few days ago to have gotten the role of Fanny Brice in Broadway's Funny Girl. When the news broke, a lot of people took to social media to express their disappointment in the casting, one of which was actress Samantha Ware, who had starred on the final season of Glee with Michele. Years ago, Ware had publicly shared that Michele bullied her and others on the set of Glee, for which Michele has since apologized. When the news broke of Michelle's casting in Funny Girl, Ware took to social media to speak about her unhappiness with the decision, to which others commented about Ware now being the bully herself. Ware could have fought in the sense of replying to these commenters, but she chose to ignore the comments. A lot of social media commenters comment looking for a response, and they want a fight or an argument to ensue so they can come out as the winner. Some comment just because they're bored, and some comment to get attention from the celebrity to whom they're posting. This example is twofold. Ware fought against the news about Michelle's casting because she was upset and wanted to make it public that she was upset, and arguments ensued on her social media, which she fled from, I would say. So she was not actually a part of this. So there were two instances of fight and flight within this same example. Third is sexual arousal. What I chose for this is slightly unconventional, pictures of feet. Some people are sexually aroused by feet. There are entire websites and social media accounts dedicated to foot fetishes. These accounts and websites are designed to elicit this type of response, though the pictures I chose are not. However, people who have a foot fetish may still become sexually aroused by these photos, even without that being the photo producer's intention. Next is excitation transfer. This is when a person feels a certain emotion from media and then transfers that into their everyday life in an unrelated way. The clip I chose is from an episode of Criminal Minds. In this clip, serial killer George Foyet is holding Agent Hotchner's wife and son hostage. Hotchner's wife, Haley, gets him on the phone as the agents are on their way to try to save them. This scene takes the viewer on a full emotional journey. Fear, anxiety, sadness, relief, all in one. Usually after watching this scene, my adrenaline is going because of the fear and anxiety I experienced while watching it. I then feel more motivated to do housework or other tasks because of that adrenaline surge. This was absolutely the intention of the producers. They want the viewer to feel something that then transfers into their daily lives, whether knowingly or subconsciously. Lastly is habituation or desensitization. We have had so many deaths attributed to COVID-19, and they have been reported in the news. However, people reading the news have seemingly become desensitized to this even 2 years later. The US surpassed the 1 million death mark this past May, but I barely remember hearing about it. A lot of people were so tired of hearing about COVID, and some people still did not believe COVID was a threat, so they ignored these news articles or just didn't care about them. This was not the intention of the producers of these articles. They reported these numbers expecting more people to care, but unfortunately the amount of reporting about COVID we had from the beginning of the pandemic just made too many people jaded and apathetic. As for which of these I believe has the greatest susceptibility, I would say excitation transfer. It is rare that human beings experience one single emotion without feeling any other emotions. Most often we feel anger, disappointment, sadness all in one, or happiness, love, etc. I think the excitation transfer theory best exemplifies the emotional roller coaster most people experience when consuming media, whether this be news media, a video game, a movie, a painting, or any other form. We are complex, as is this theory. Without realizing it, we take the emotions we experience during media consumption and transfer them into our own lives. Media consumption affects our mood, and that affects how we go about our daily tasks.